Hey everyone! So in today's lesson, we are doing our last quick review. This is quick review number 3. And in this review, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be simplifying complex fractions, simple complex fractions. And we are going to be able to explain the process we take when simplifying these complex fractions. So let's take a quick look at our do now problems. Okay, so let's take a look at our do now for today. And for today, we are asked to simplify the following. I want you guys to pause this video, try these 2 problems on your own, and let's see what we get. Okay, so here are my 2 answers. This is what you should have got. For number 1, we had 2 over x divided by 5. So what I did was, let's take the numerator and keep it. I changed my operation from division to multiplication, which means that I should be flipping my denominator. So I applied keep, change, flip to get my answer of 2 over 5x. That is the same approach for number 2. I kept the numerator, I changed the operation, and I flipped the denominator, giving me a value of 3x over 4. Make sure you express your answer in simplest form always. In this case, both of these were simplified already. So let's look at our thinking for today. We are looking to simplify complex fractions. Complex fractions. What are complex fractions? A complex fraction is a fraction divided by another fraction. That's the complex one. We could have a fraction divided by a number. We could have a number divided by a fraction. So something similar to number 1 and 2 you'll see. So we will need to find, for number 1, find common denominators for the numerator. This is if possible, right? Sometimes our problem isn't that complex. We're going to need to find common denominators for the denominator, again, if possible, depending on our problem. And then we're going to apply this keep, change, flip method to simplify our fraction. So let's take a look at 2 problems. So let's highlight first the numerator and the denominator. That way I'm focused on the numerator first. So the first thing I'm going to ask myself is, let me just rewrite my numerator. Okay, so this is my numerator. What I want to do is find a common denominator. What I clearly see is that this 3 is missing an x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this 3, or 3 over 1 if I want to write it like that, by x. Whatever I do on the bottom, I do on the top. So my new numerator is now 2 minus 3x all over x. That's the numerator. I'm going to bring back the denominator now. My denominator was a 5. Once I have my numerator as a simplified fraction, I could apply this keep, change, flip method. So I'm going to keep my numerator. I'm going to change my operation, and I'm going to flip my fraction, my denominator. And when we are multiplying fractions, we multiply across. So I get a value of, and that is it. I am not going to simplify. I cannot cancel anything. This is my final answer. Let's try number 2. So in this case, let me identify my numerator and also my denominator. So in this number 2, what it looks like I have to do is the same thing we did for number 1 on the numerator, but both on the denominator and the numerator. So we have double the work. So let's start off with the numerator. So there's my numerator. I want these 2 things to have the same denominator. That way I could combine them. I could add them up, because that's the only way I could add fractions. So I am going to multiply by x plus 1. And that will give me 3 times x plus 1 over x plus 1 for my first, plus 2 times x plus 1 for my second. So let me just distribute here. We got 3x plus 3. I'll just put it on the top. So my new numerator is 3x plus 5. How did I get that 3x plus 5? The only thing I could combine are those values, and my denominator is x plus 1. This is my numerator. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my denominator. For my denominator, I have a 4 over x minus 2. I want like denominators. So this 2 is going to get multiplied by x, giving me 4 minus 2x over x. So this is my denominator. So here is my new fraction. 3x plus 5 over x plus 1, all divided by 4 minus 2x over x. So now that I have the fraction, the numerator as simple as possible, the denominator as simple as possible, I could apply this keep, change, flip. So I'm keeping my numerator, I'm changing my operation, and I'm flipping my denominator. And now I am going to multiply across. So I have x times 3x plus 5, giving me a 3x squared plus 5x. In the bottom, I have x plus 1 times 4 minus 2x. I might need to do a little side work here. And I end up getting a negative 2x squared plus 2x plus 4. And there is my final answer. So when you are simplifying or asked to simplify these more complex types of expressions, what you're going to do is you want to look at your numerator and your denominator as individuals. You want to combine and find the common denominator for either numerator or denominator. Make it as simple as possible and then do the keep, change, flip method. So keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in our next video.